Boom shakalaka, $1.5 million Bitcoin in 7 years, and why the short to medium term rally may already be over. Stay tuned. What's up everyone, Randall here from Crypto Love. Today's video, we're taking a look at a lot of very interesting charts for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, including why the short-term rally may be over and how Bitcoin could end up at $1.5 million per Bitcoin in 7 years. Before we get into it, guys, make sure to like, subscribe, click the notification bell. Come join us on Twitter at the Crypto Love. Push that like button. Now, today, Fear and Greed Index 56, down from yesterday. Pretty much the same territory for the past week. Very low levels of greed. Now, we have seen the overall prices come down about 2% today across the market. Bitcoin at 22,874, Ethereum at 1633, BNB at 325, XRP 39 cents, Cardano 39 cents, Dogecoin 9 cents, and Polygon $1.19. And Bitcoin right now, after breaking through this high level on the volume profile, has broken above it and then broke back down to below $23,000. If we can't find support in this area, the high volume profile, maybe headed all the way back down to these support structures, all converging around $20,000. Now, as of right now, we saw greed on the Fear and Greed Index, but it seems like right now, retail sentiment has turned very optimistic towards the market. Dumb money confidence is now at extremely elevated levels, while smart money confidence has been dropping like a stone. Smart money confidence very, very high when we were at the lows a few weeks ago. Right now, as the price has gone up, smart money confidence not as confident. Not only that, but we take a look here at the medium-term risk levels. This has marked the top in the bear market throughout 2022. Medium-term risk levels are now extremely elevated. Each time they were elevated like this, the price just went down. So based on this, it looks like the rally may be over in the short term, but you definitely want to stay tuned until the end of the episode to see why having a longer mindset may be to your advantage. As a matter of fact, accumulating Bitcoin during this opportunity window has been advantageous for those with low time preferences. That's people who can wait a little bit longer. If we take a look at the network cost basis to your EMA, Bitcoin very rarely sits in this red shaded area. It was here for 43 days in 2011, 302 days in 2015, 132 in 2019, 10 days in 2020. So far, we've been here for 237 days. Now, a lot of you may have been kicking yourself because you think you missed buying the absolute bottom. But guess what? We're still in that red band. Great opportunity for people with low time preferences. It does appear like on the 14-day GMMA oscillator that Bitcoin does have a trend reversal. When it goes to red, from red to green, that pretty much picks out the bottom for Bitcoin. Could likely be picking out a bottom for Bitcoin. Now, not the absolute bottom, but a bottom for Bitcoin. We do have a symmetrical pattern forming for Bitcoin from the tops in August, November, and March. If we just flip that right around, we have the bottoms here in June, November, and potentially one more bottom, roughly around $20,000. Those levels we were talking about right back here before we take off once again to above the zero line right here. So it could be the last opportunity we may have to accumulate at great prices. Right now, we're seeing a bullish signal flashing here, the Bollinger Band squeeze. This taking a look, when we have a Bollinger Band squeeze combining with an RSI crossing over the Bollinger Band baseline, that's a bullish signal. I know, so many B's in one thing, it's hard to get out. But basically, you have a squeeze in this red area, this squeeze in the Bollinger Bands. Then, when we have the RSI crossing over this dotted baseline, well, that has been a bullish signal back here in 2015. Also happened, we had a squeeze right here, crossing over the Bollinger Band baseline, bullish signal back in 2019. Once again, it appears like we might have the same type of thing happening yet one more time, one bullish signal for Bitcoin. And if that bullish signal doesn't do it for you, how about when the Williams percent R left the oversold territory? Previous times this has happened, take a look at these rocket ships. Before every massive Bitcoin rally, it just happened once again. Why you need to have a longer time frame than maybe a short-term 100x leverage trader. Which brings us to this one. Very, very interesting chart. This is by ARK Invest. Bitcoin is likely to scale into a multi-trillion-dollar market. They estimate the price of one Bitcoin could exceed $1 million by 2030. This is what John McAfee has been talking about for years and years and years. ARK Invest is saying, hey, this is pretty darn likely. They have a bear case, a base case, and a bull case. Now, each case, based on the color, takes into consideration different use cases for Bitcoin. We have corporate treasuries, we have remittance assets, we have nation-state treasuries, we have emerging market currencies, we have economic settlement networks, seizure-resistant assets, institutional investments, and digital gold. Now, the bear case, worst case scenario by 2030. Again, listen to this, worst case scenario in 7 years. Bitcoin would still be 10 times what it is right now. What other investment can you get that with? I don't know. But worst case scenario, basically if it was just some digital gold with some institutional investment, roughly $258,000 per Bitcoin. Then you have the base case. So this is probably, they would say, pretty good likelihood that this could happen. $682 million Bitcoin. That's a 30x in 7 years. That's not a long time. But the really big one, the bull case, and this is the one that I like to look at. I would like to say the bull case is an understatement. It'll be like 10 times this, but that's just optimistic. If we take a look here though, basically, if this does capture a portion of all of those markets, and we're not talking huge penetration here, in the bull cases, 5%, 10%, up to 25, maybe even 50% for digital gold. That's basically it. 50% is the highest, but most of them between 5 and 10%. Well, that would be a $1.48 million Bitcoin in 7 years. I can't even do the math in my head for how many X's that is in 7 years, but that's pretty freaking crazy. And if you doubt this, just take a look at this chart as to what's been happening recently. So Willy Woo points out this recent rally coincides with the new pattern emerging of stablecoins flowing into exchanges during working days only. Seems like the heat signature of large institutions doing the bottom. You know who's doing the buying? You know who's been buying the dip? Large institutions. You know why? Because they're going to have 6.5% of their assets in Bitcoin, which is the bull case right here, which is why it's likely headed to $1.5 million in a short 7 years. So that's all for today's episode. If you did enjoy it, push that like button. Such a pleasure to spend this time with you every day. I'll catch you guys later. Have a good one. Love you. Peace.
If you don't think Bitcoin's going to $1 million a coin and then $10 million a coin, you're already a loser.